From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? Silver waiting.
Mike. Silver.
Ready, touch.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Ready.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hilliard. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
I'm on.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Check 24. Watch 24.
On 2nd down, Hilliard. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Ready. 95-56. 95-56. Pick up the ball.
Breeze going to try and throw on 3rd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, box truck.
Here's 2nd and 8. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Bravo.
Don't get nervous. Let's go, let's go. Have we got number 53, Mike 53. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Hit it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Defense
wins championships, baby. Hey, check Mike 57, Mike
55.
Second down and inches. And an alley to run. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down.
Switch gears. 53.
Hey, orbit. Shoot.
Back to throw here. It's caught here by Adams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
53, Mike.
Hey, Haywood.
53 to Mike.
Get it.
2nd and 11. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 34-yard line.
Check 43.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
They'll look to throw here. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. That his first incompletion after a 4-for-4 start.
Yeah, but they shouldn't back off from what they're doing. I like the play calling right out of the gate. I like the tone that they're setting. Keep going in that direction.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check 53's Mike. Check 53's Mike.
Ready?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds Howard complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offense. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
At the 41-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Look, squeeze. Switch.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 35. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5.
51, Mike.
Hey, exit. Snap.
They're going to look to throw. Touchdown, Packers.
Touchdown.
From 6 yards away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on first and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you? Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Here we go.
On first down, Hilliard, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
They'll run it with Williams.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now Breeze on third down. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
First down. First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Down to lose one.
Williams. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches at the 46-yard line.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. No. Off. Tonight.
On second down, Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ready. You ready? 21.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Ready, set.
On first down, Breeze. The big fella, 30. 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Packers pick it up. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
Ready?
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Ready.
Tighten up.
Go, go.
Pull it together. Check 3, check.
Pilot, 64, weak.
2nd and 15. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Come on,
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, zoom.
He'll look to throw. Fighting through pressure. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Cameron Jordan has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down. Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll run. It's Hilliard. Room here to run. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Breeze nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Dean Lowry in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And it's fielded at the 34. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
the ready.
57 to Mike. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Mike.
Now back to throw. Escapes the sack. And some strong running. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
53's Mike.
Back near his goal line. Here's Breeze. And Josh Hill has it. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
At the 22-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And some room to run now. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. Past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Look at me. Go.
Rush in.
Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
X3. 218. Chop.
I'm going to come back to you.
Hey, Celta.
57. Watch the pass. Hey, check Mike.
Big grip.
He'll drop to throw. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
Ready. 18 Gators. You must be dreaming. Now.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Watch out.
They'll run on first down. It's Williams, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
A gain of 5. It's fourth down.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will close the gap down to 14. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. That's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go.
Hey, high 7.
2nd and 4.
Number 53.
And his throw is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
We got to step it up.
Smooth. 50 seconds. Twist on Travis. Let's go.
They'll set up to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On first down, Hilliard. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
At the 17-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Well done from a safety to come up there at the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle, too.
Yeah, he actually played into his position, didn't he? He's a strong safety. That means being near the line of scrimmage, cleaning up the run game, almost an extra linebacker, and he relishes the opportunities to put a big hit on a runner. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss.
Watch the screen.
2nd and long. That's complete to Sharp. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Set, ready, 18, Gator.
Watch the out.
Hey, box truck.
Mike 51.
Go.
Mike 51.
Come.
Hey, come on up.
Put up.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, 4 down.
He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up a throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Toss play, Kamara. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
Ready? 5-8, 5-8. 53, Mike. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that.
On 2nd down now, it's Williams. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Saints on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike.
Now Breeze. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
0-2.
The Saints do snap it. It's Breeze. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Baby, that's baby shot. Switch.
Back to the ground, it's Kamara. Kamara's got the 1st down and then some. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Hey, Haywood.
Let's go.
Ready?
Number 53, Mike 53. Check.
Now.
They'll look to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important third down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
53, check 53. Here we go.
Back to throw. And he finds his target. It's sharp. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A pickup of 27. And they pick up the first down in the process.
First down, Packers.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's first and 10.
Hey, team 6.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Here we go. Let's 57.
Looking to throw. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. He'll look to throw. finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A very solid gain of 27.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady.
They'll run on first down. Hilliard. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
At the 46-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Now Breeze. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
Ready.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
5-9. Hey, exit.
They'll go for it. It's Breeze. Now a desperation throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 14. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now they try the right side here. Trying to run in. Saints will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And it's a fumble. The Saints say they have it, and they do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
So second down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Back to throw, Breeze. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they will take a knee here.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Green Bay, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, their slim playoff hopes are gone now as they fall to 5-9. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again.